everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm freaked the fuck out.
No shit.
Oh, my God. I'm Dan Beecher. You guys.
Yeah, so... Okay, I guess we should start by saying we're recording on Thursday, so we haven't even had 24 hours to process what happened on Wednesday, which is of course was the attack on the United States Capitol.
The attempted insurrection
Yeah.
of the United States of America.
Yeah. And so we started, I was looking at finding some stories to do the normal show, right?
Yeah.
And I found some, and I really did. I think I have some good stories. But as soon as we started talking, it was like, what are we going to do? Like, this is I'm not in a mind space right now to do a normal show. I'm just not. And this will obviously be 2 days old, right? By the time you guys are
Who knows
hearing
what
it.
events you guys have experienced since between our now and your now.
No
because
kidding.
It's just, look, right before we started to record this, I looked at my phone and Donald Trump had just released an insane gaslighting video that I'm sure you guys have already seen and have had plenty of people talk to you about.
Yeah.
Where he said, I've just been championing the Constitution and democracy this whole time, and I condemn all the bad people that stormed the castle, and now it's time for just a peaceful transition of power.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, look, I'm glad that he said it because it means he gave up.
Yeah.
And that will take the wind out of their sails, hopefully completely.
You hope.
They blew their wad yesterday, attacking our Capitol building, and I don't think that they I don't know that they have it in them for another one. Maybe if he's impeached, they'll do another one. But I think that really that little video, assuming it gets disseminated anywhere, I think that'll take a lot of the wind out of their sails. He's given up, and so maybe they'll give up. But
yeah, but the classic Trump, though, would be the people around him have screamed and shouted enough to get him to kind of seem like a normal person for 30 seconds, right?
Ish.
And then a day goes by, right? And he's just been fuming the whole time, right? Because he didn't want to do this video. Somebody sat him down and said, you're losing everything. Like, it's like we know you don't care if the left, right, thinks you're the worst president in history, but half of the right, maybe a third, and growing numbers are starting to actually accept the fact that you were the worst president in the history of the country, right? Like, you're threat now
that he's up against. They're looking at 25th Amendment. They're looking at impeachment again, and this time the Senate's probably not going to stand in the way. Like, what he's looking at now is, I need to finish this 2 weeks of my presidency so that I can pardon myself at the end of it before they remove me from office. So I need to say, don't worry, I've given up. Or, I need to wave that white flag, or it's prison for me. Yeah. And I think someone must have made that clear to him.
Well, I think it's still prison for him.
I really, really hope that it is still prison for him.
I mean, I hope they can get it. Oh God, because Mike Pence said today that he doesn't support the invoking the 25th Amendment. So it's a done deal. You have to have the vice president on board.
Impeachment seems like a long shot to me.
It is. Yeah.
What would be amazing is that, like, 2 weeks before the transfer of power, suddenly Joe Biden's not the 46th president of the United States, but the 47th president of the United States.
Like,
what the fuck?
I think
Mike Pence goes down in the history books as President Mike Pence
for 3 days.
For a day and a half?
12 hours. Because it would be done in the last minutes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I know. It's almost too much to hope for at this point. Dan, though.
Hope is such a weird thing. Here's what I realized yesterday.
Yeah.
And I hadn't had this realization sort of in my conscious mind yet. And that is that for the last 4 years, plus, actually before the last 4 years, because all of the obstructionism that happened during Obama's presidency, I am so used to not believing in good news that I found the joyful news of the Senate runoff in Georgia troubling. My brain didn't, but something in me was like worried about it. I couldn't yet just be happy that they took both Senate seats in Georgia.
It's amazing, though. Yeah. I was so pissed. I was actually just like, those motherfuckers, they took this day from us.
I know.
I know.
That was it. Yeah.
I needed to have this day. And they totally ruined it.
Oh, my God.
Amongst other things that they clearly ruined.
Did you know?
Things far more important than Frank Feldman getting to celebrate. But
did you know that literally in Georgia, they ran an ad. They ran an ad against Ossoff where they enlarged a Jewish man's nose.
What?
Like they enlarged his nose for one of the ads that they ran. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because they're the worst people. And then also, Warnock, they darkened his skin in one of the ads.
Of course they did. Yeah. No, clearly. Now,
because literally we have achieved almost nothing in this country.
Oh, well, Dan. Well, I don't know.
Are you moving us on?
I don't know.
Are we ready to move on? Because I don't feel ready.
You don't feel ready? What else do you need to talk about?
Process.
What's? I mean, I obviously
we have lived through an unprecedented occurrence, and I need like it's hard to wrap your head around it. Yeah. I was online, and here's the other thing. Of course, the right wing people online are gaslighting the shit out of everybody right now.
Right.
And, all the people who were like screaming and yelling about how the Black Lives Matter, the tiny little moments of violence and setting a building on fire, property damage or whatever.
Right.
They were screaming and shouting about how that's just not the way to do it. And, there are tweets from Tomi Lahren, what is her name? And I saw another tweet from Charlie Kirk, both saying, and this was just 3 months ago, or 2 months ago in November when after the election, and they're saying, notice how we don't have riots when we lose and blah blah blah, and aged real good, and then all of these same people are suddenly like, well, that it's okay when it's our, these were revolutionaries, they were just trying to blah blah blah, and B, they weren't even our people, it was Antifa pretending to be Trump supporters.
Which is like, I'm sorry, there's no, I saw pictures of these people, there's no faking it that much, right? This is like the best hair and makeup department ever.
Not only that, but because there was seriously, say that after we all saw Trump's tweets that said, hey, go do an insurrection. And they were like, yes, we will go do an insurrection. And he's like, I support you in your insurrection. And they're like, yes, we're going to go do that. And then everybody's like, no, that wasn't them.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't them. The other thing is, now everybody on the right is comparing what happened at the Capitol to the Black Lives Matter moments of violence and whatever. Wow. Which is an insane gaslighting comparison.
Unbelievable.
Because It's not even equivalent. And just in case you encounter this argument, ladies and gentlemen at home, like you just point out to them, there's one group of people is fighting because they are being killed by systemic racism. They're being summarily executed by police officers.
Right.
And the other side lost
an election.
They just lost an election, and now they think it's okay to not. We're not talking about a little property damage. Right. There is property damage. That's not what we're upset about.
Yeah.
They didn't attack a building. They attacked democracy as a concept.
Yeah.
They attacked the rule of law. They attacked the most fundamental thing that Americans have.
Yeah.
It is the most basic right of America.
Yeah.
And that is look, I'm not necessarily sold on the idea of democracy as the best mode of government because as we've learned, most of my countrymen are idiots. They should not be choosing anything. But I'm with Churchill. It's the best we got.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't perfect. It's only as good as the people who are involved in it, you know. To be honest.
And as it turns out, people are sort of the problem.
Yeah.
If we could just get people out of this whole thing, it would be great.
Oh, Dan.
But yeah, it's it's funny because I am both mildly amused. Can I be mildly amused? Here's the thing. What the fuck did they think they were going to do?
I don't know. Like, what if they'd actually entered one of those chambers and there had been lawmakers there? Were they going to hold them hostage?
Well, there was that guy that had all those zip ties that are sort of the equivalent of handcuffs.
Yeah.
Was he going to hold them hostage? Kill them?
I don't know.
There were pipe bombs.
I know there were. Yeah, I know. I didn't hear about that until today. Did they even announce that until today? I don't think.
I heard whispers of it. I don't know if it was on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
Twitter's always ahead of the game with that stuff. Well, because Twitter isn't about, journalism. It's not about verifying. It's just like, here's what I saw.
Right.
But which means it's less reliable, but oh my God, though. I just think about do you remember one of the images that has been circulating is the image of a militarized Capitol building during the Black Lives Matter protest.
Yeah. No.
Just literally every square foot had a soldier cop on it.
Yeah.
Like this was not just a police officer. These were in full battle rattle.
Yeah. They knew.
Meanwhile, this time it was like 12 guys and a trained monkey. Like, it was nothing. There was nobody there. Yeah. And they knew what was going to happen. We all knew what was going to happen.
I know. Like, of course they knew. I hate this kind of speculation until, there's, evidence to back it up or whatnot. But, people are really questioning, was there some complicity with the Capitol Hill police?
Yeah,
because it just fucking doesn't make sense. And again, I hate even saying something like that because it's just pure speculation. But it was handled so unbelievably poorly. I was listening to NPR today, and they had a, kind of their go-to cop on whatever show it was, a former police officer in New York, and he was just like, that wasn't like. You have to try to be that bad at policing.
Yeah.
like they consciously ignored warnings. They consciously did not prepare for the day. He's like, I've seen
I think they must have been called
events, off. What a protest somewhere in the capital city will do. That's out on the mall. Right.
Right.
It's it turns into total lockdown at the Capitol, the not complete lockdown, but the level of security just amps up so high, right?
Yeah,
and they're all
for anything.
ready. they all have everything that they're going to need, and they were just like in their normal, police garb. I saw that video clip of the police. I don't know what to make of it because it wasn't very long, but of the police kind of helping move the barricade. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? They're just like letting them in. The fucking police are taking selfies.
One police officer inside the building when that whole crowd, did you see that? There's video of one cop, a black cop at that, just manning this one doorway, and he's got like a stick. He's got a baton.
Yeah.
And that's what he's supposed to fend off an entire crowd. And he ends up running up the stairs away from them.
Yeah.
But I think, I saw somebody on some social media was playing the Rage Against the Machine song that has the lyrics, "Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses." And I was like, yep, there you have it.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this plenty of times, the fact that the KKK and other, similar-minded groups have been infiltrating our police forces.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they were taking selfies with the people, and they let them just walk out.
Yeah.
Meander out. With, there's pictures of the guy that had his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture of him afterwards with a piece of her letterhead in his hand? They took shit.
Yeah, oh no, I know. And apparently Nancy Pelosi's office was like the prized place to get your your souvenirs of the day.
Right.
I know, Dan. It's
oh my God. This is not a normal time, so we're not doing a normal show, you guys.
Yeah. No, like I was thinking about, like what Trump has done to this show. Right? Like after he was elected, do you remember that was the decision? That was when we both decided we're putting our last names on the show, right? It was like we need to make sure we're standing up. We need to make sure that we're identifying ourselves, that we're proud of who we are, because it just felt like such a scary time, right? So it was like, no, this is important. We own this show, right?
And we're putting our money where our mouth is.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, we've, through the 4 years, we've had to kind of process and think through and even sort of defend, why has the show become so political?
Well,
because we always kind of were like, no, let's just stay on the religion beat, as much as possible. Let's just stay on it. And, well, it's like the intersection of religion and politics is just so...
It's not an intersection. It's now just a street.
Yeah. Yeah.
It literally we didn't veer into their lane. They veered into ours.
Yeah.
So there's nothing more. We can't not talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's not even about conservative versus liberal.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's about.
I mean, it kind of is, but
it's about reasonable versus whatever the fuck the GOP, the Republican Party, has become.
Yeah, it's fact-based versus and evidence-based versus imaginary stories about, lizards and JFK Jr. and
it's look.
Deep state, all that crap.
Yeah, and cabals of pedophiles, rings of pedophiles that aren't the actual ones,
right?
But are the ones located in the basement of pizza places that don't have basements.
Yeah,
it's just and the thing is that this insurrection or whatever, this terrorist act that it couldn't have happened without the Christian element.
Right.
They are not acting out of civic duty. They're acting, they feel, out of religious fervor, out of zealotry.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't come from because if you're mad, if you're freaked out about your country, you care about the evidence. You care about what actually is.
Yeah.
But if this is about the second coming of Jesus, or if this is about, good versus evil, and you can just have an enemy that's evil instead of like someone with whom you disagree about, how to address the problems of our country, then it's a totally different ballgame. It's not even remotely the same. We're not actually having the same discussion as they are.
I know.
So I don't know how we fix this. I don't know where we go from here. The question becomes, has this become such a brain rattle that it has awakened some of the cultists, the Trump cultists, from their reverie? Because the truth of the matter is that that's what they are. They're in a cult.
They absolutely
and it's not just a Trump cult. It's the the QAnon Trump cult,
which he is a major player in the narrative, right?
Oh yeah.
So
well, I feel like Trump is sort of the Joseph Smith or the LRH, the L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
And this Q thing, it's not even a person. Whatever Q is, whoever Q is the evil, like the behind the scenes I don't know. I don't even know what it is. There's no end goal there. It's just sowing chaos. So what's the point? I don't know. I saw a huge collection of, I think probably culled from Parler, of social media posts that were QAnon believers lamenting that they had lost their families, that their families thought that they were crazy, or repeated over and over. My daughter won't talk to me. She says I'm in a cult. My son won't, my kids won't talk to me anymore. I don't get to see my grandkids anymore because I believe in this stuff. And then the other repeated theme was the plan had better come to fruition soon because I'm going insane.
Oh my God.
And the fact of the matter is they have this whole time believed that Trump was this master 3D chess player, and everything that was happening for a purpose, and he was planning it all, and it was all going his way, and we'd all see soon how the pieces would fall into place. Ha-ha! And it's never worked. None of the pieces have ever fallen into place for them at all. But the second they believe it, it's, like I said,
how belief works.
The right? Cosmic pizza thing, none of the pieces have ever fallen into place for them. But now the biggest piece has fallen. They're having their great disappointment. Trump gave up. Or at least he said he did. We'll see. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is that the second coming isn't going to occur. And the question becomes, what do they do then? Because we know we've had people have second coming predictions before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Seventh-day Adventists arose from the Millerites, who weren't Millerites anymore because Miller predicted exactly when the second coming was going to happen, when Armageddon was going to occur, and then it didn't, and then he did it again, and then it didn't.
Well, what could possibly rise from the ashes of QAnon? Let's say it does kind of crumble and fall apart, or at least lose a lot of followers, right? Like, yeah. I don't know. Like,
do they finally just go? Shake their heads out of it, deprogram a little bit, and then re-enter society as normal thinking people?
What happened with the Rajneeshis?
Right?
Because their thing just fell apart.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. That's who it is. It's the Rajneeshis.
Yeah.
And that Wild Wild Country has all of these interviews with perfectly nice people who are now living normal, healthy lives, having been a part of a crazy cult.
But who, strangely, like, you can tell there's, like, loss, though. That they feel loss.
Oh, yeah.
They right? Like, and don't they even speak to it? It's been a long time since I saw that one. But aren't they, like, it was just, like, when they tell the story, you can tell that they, like, loved that time of their life, right? When it was good, right? Before things were really starting to get...
Before they poisoned the beer and whatever.
Exactly. I mean, one can hope that I mean, because the whole disinformation thing, like, we got to figure that out as a society. Like, I was sitting there just yelling at the radio this afternoon because they were talking about, you know, Facebook and Twitter finally sort of cutting the president off.
Right.
Trump
just in
off.
time.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, well done,
you did
guys. And I'm just like, because I haven't done Facebook for a couple years now, a few years maybe even, and even the last, like, it's been a while since I've had any activity. And then, like, Twitter, the only reason I've ever been around Twitter, recently is for the podcast specifically. I have my own Twitter handle. If anybody's tried to follow me, sorry, I don't really.
But follow me.
I have a really difficult time with social media in general, and so, like,
I'm trying to Twitter more, so people should follow me at Mr. Beecher.
I was just sitting there, just like yelling and screaming about, like, fuck these platforms, right?
I know.
Like, they have their lack of responsibility, right? Their unwillingness to be responsible for what's happening on their platform is pure insanity to me. Right, that you could just try to hide, like, because it's clearly just a business decision. I'm sorry, like, you don't believe in free speech that much, right? Like, you don't want to have to moderate it, and so your argument is, no, we believe in free speech, blah 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 blah.
Well, not only do they not want to have to moderate it, but I mean, somebody like Donald Trump brings shit tons of traffic to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Twitter wants him on there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's only because of, like, massive pressure that Twitter has suspended it.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, the government is going to have to regulate the way that they don't even have to regulate it. They just need to pass laws that define responsibility, that basically redefine them as a newspaper would have been. Right?
Yeah.
The newspaper was responsible for what was printed on its pages. So they took that responsibility, very seriously.
Yeah.
And
we need to start regulating the news outlets too, because, we've got OAN out there and InfoWars and all these things.
Yeah.
And people are thinking they're getting real news from them.
I know. I'm a little less concerned about, like, a single platform that is its own, that they're pushing out their information, right? Like, they are having to, like you could, bring about libel suits and that kind of stuff against these folks. I'm really concerned about completely, like, faceless actors who have fake accounts, who are using these algorithms, these advertising algorithms, to push their information out, to connect with the people who are most susceptible to that kind of messaging, and to just lure them in. And foreign actors, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, no, this cannot be something that just goes unregulated. And I know that I might be pissing some people off right now, but, like, we have to get a handle on the flow of information. And I don't know what the correct answer is, but I think just making people have to be and companies just have to be responsible is a really good start. Because I don't want laws about what you can and can't say.
Go the opposite direction.
Exactly. Yeah. Just be responsible for it. Just take responsibility for what kind of communication is happening on your platform. That's all.
Yeah.
And I know that kills it. I know that is the thing that kills Facebook the moment they have to do that. So I don't know.
I don't even know if Facebook's the issue. I mean, I'm much more concerned about 4chan and 8chan and now Parler and
Yeah.
Facebook seems harmless compared to those guys.
I don't know. Like, I think people find their way to bad shit on Facebook.
Yes, they do.
And there's all the other problems with Facebook, too, that I don't like. But anyway, Dan, have we talked about this enough?
Okay.
I've got some stories here. I think we should do at least a couple stories.
This is not going to be a normal show. It already isn't. We're just gonna do a few stories, and we didn't even have like our conversation about like what
which
are your
stories we have. No,
what
that's
are my
true.
Stories?
You might have one of my stories.
I might, but I've got actually a multiplicity of stories. I've got a lot of stories, so I'll just pivot.
Okay. Which one do I want you to absolutely not have?
Yeah, exactly. You're staking your claim right now.
Dan.
What?
This is amazing. There is a new field of study that is coming out in India.
Okay.
It's called cow science. They're having a mass nationwide online.
It sounds totally legit, by the way.
Online exam next month. This is being pushed out by Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government as a way to promote and protect cattle, which are of course considered sacred by Hindus.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, there's going to be certificates given and prizes. This sounds like fun.
It's 4-H. It's fucking. What is it?
No, it's so it turns out that according to a chief, so first of all, there is the National Cow Commission, and they're involved in this whole thing, right?
Well, you wouldn't want to do it without them.
Cow Commission. Let that sink in a little bit. Anyway, their chief officer says the cow is full of science and economics. People are not aware of the true economic and scientific value of the animal.
It's full of science. Break one open, you'll see science inside.
Oh God, yeah. The government has been investing millions of dollars into programs that protect cattle. They want cows to just be a top priority, and they're investing in research that looks into better uses for its dung and urine.
Yeah. Okay.
This is unbelievable. This is truly unbelievable. If it didn't come from a reliable news source,
I like it. To me, this is like putting your dumb religion to possibly good use. Like if they do find good uses for cow dung and cow urine, more power to you. I don't know how they're going to collect it in India. Half the cows are just wandering in the streets.
It'll be a full-time job. You just follow the cow. That's one of the economic opportunities. Jobs, Dan.
There you go. Boom.
Cow dung jobs.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be the first people who had to go around picking up cow patties.
Yeah.
It was a fuel source on the prairie, Dan.
We grew up in a religion that had a song that had a whole lyric about gathering cow chips for fuel. Yeah.
They have that?
Yeah.
Dan, what is the song? I don't that doesn't ring a bell.
Gathering chips for wood. It's like maybe it's Pioneer Children sang as they walked and walked and
Is it
walked
like the second verse?
Yeah, something like that.
Pioneer children sang as they picked up poo.
What is it? I don't remember exactly what song it was, but there was a song, and I was like, and the line is gathering chips for wood.
I've never heard that song.
I'm Googling it. But yeah, I had to ask my parents, like, what does that mean? And they were like, oh, that means cow poop. I was like, huh?
Cow, I know. So
anyway, the pioneers. Wait, yeah, I think it's Pioneer Children. Anyway,
I've never sang that verse in my life.
I'll do a story. I'm gonna do a story that hits close to home and far away from home. I don't know if you know this, but in Israel, getting married is only a religious thing. You can only be married inside a religion in Israel.
Oh,
that's their law.
Okay,
there's no civil marriage at all.
What?
So, if you don't like, if you're not a religious person, or if you're LGBTQ, or even if you're a mixed faith couple, even if you're religious and your partner's religious, it just happens to be two different religions, you can't get married there. But there are a few ways of getting around it. Now, you can, they do honor marriages done outside of the country. So, if you went and got married in Barbados, Israel will honor that. But if you can't afford to leave, you're kind of stuck. You know what I mean? Or if that just somehow isn't an option for you until enter the state of Utah.
What?
And a couple of other states, which apparently, and I did Google this, I did look this up, and it's true. Apparently now you can get an online marriage certificate, just do the whole thing online in the state of Utah.
What?
So
you can?
Here's the thing. Yeah.
I drove to Colorado for no reason?
You did. You did. Well, you need an officiant. You would have had to have an officiant.
Do they have an e-officiant? Like, just...
I don't know. I have not done that much looking, and don't take my word for it. Get yourself a legal expert who can explain it to you if you want to do this.
Crazy.
But apparently, Israel is accepting marriage certificates from the state of Utah.
No.
So Israeli couples are literally like getting Utah marriage licenses and then being like, "What? There it is, baby."
A new funding source for the state.
When I saw the headline, I was like, is this about polygamy? This is going to be about polygamy, I'm sure of it. Utah marriages, Israel, I don't know what's happening, but no, it's just, it turns out Utah is apparently the bastion for secular marriage.
Ooh, that doesn't
figure that.
make any sense to me whatsoever.
No.
That has not been my experience. Dan.
Yeah.
I keep gravitating to these kinds of stories just because I like examples of church people being held accountable. So I don't care if I do one a week. Right now, this example comes from Germany, where police raided a church service with over 100 maskless worshippers. And I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
They were, obviously the churchgoers were ignoring coronavirus lockdown rules that ban singing and that require people to keep distance from each other. So Germany has a federal system, right? And so it's kind of, I don't want to say it's entirely like hodgepodgey like it is here, but it does sound like each of the 16 states are deciding their own coronavirus restrictions. And so in this, wherever this was, where was this? It doesn't matter. It was in Germany.
Deutschland.
They allow up to 20 people to attend church services indoors as long as hygiene and social distancing is adhered to. And so they were just like completely...
So no stinky parishioners.
It's not that kind of hygiene, Dan.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so according to police, the group, the large group, included children who were not wearing face masks, and yeah, it was
great.
It was not good. Apparently, though, Germany has like really strong freedom of religion laws, and so they like. I guess they've actually had kind of a problem with this. This has been and what it actually says to me is that I know this this doesn't let us off the hook as far as like how poorly our country has been handling this. But what is nice to hear, as an American
we're not
suffering
alone?
through is that there are crazy religious people everywhere who are flouting these rules and who think that it's just their right to just ignore public health orders. So I'm sorry, Germany, that you're going.
It's
that
so
you have
nice
this
that
too.
the ding-dongs are everywhere. It's not just us.
It's not just us. It's just, it's just, it's a good reminder in these difficult times for our nation, right?
Yeah.
That you know,
It's not just Donald. There's Boris. It's like you know what I mean? Like the world.
Boris is so Donald light. Like I know we all wanted him to be another Trump, right? Like, and he seemed like he kind of was. Then it was like, oh no, there is but one Donald Trump.
Oh, that's
and
true.
We got him.
But let me tell you something. If we could have Brexited from something, we would have Brexited from something.
Oh, we Brexited from Brexit. I mean,
well, yeah, I mean, but that was a different matter. I'm just saying, like, if we could have, like, left a perfectly reasonable thing that we were a part of that was actually benefiting us because we wanted to throw a tantrum about it, because we're racist, that's what we would have done. I mean, we kind of did. You're okay. Never mind. You're right. We'll just call our independence thing our Brexit. Anyway, just a quick thing. You know, more things happen in our U.S. Capitol than just crazy mobs of insane people thinking that they're revolutionaries storming the battlements. One of the things that happens is that our Congress has a daily congressional prayer.
Yeah.
And on Sunday, the person who gave that congressional prayer was Representative Emanuel Cleaver, who is actually a pastor, I think. Anyway, Cleaver gave the prayer, but boy, did he cause a stir, because he gave his prayer and ended it, as all Christians do, with amen, and then added a woman. Or a woman, sorry. He said amen and a woman. Which is like...
so dumb.
So dumb.
So dumb.
Like a bad pun. I mean, and you know me, all of you know me. I'm open to a bad pun. But also, like, what are you doing in the Congress? Why do you know that that's the United States Congress? Anyway, a lot of people got real upset about it, which is hilarious because it's such a dumb thing to get upset about.
I can only imagine.
He was forced to defend himself.
Was he doing it? Okay, was he doing it as like a silly pun? Like, is he actually like more of like a conservative type, and he's making fun of, or was he like more of a liberal, super inclusive type, and he's literally thinks that like, you know, like with like history and herstory and that kind of stuff. Like, was he really trying to be like inclusive?
Well, I'll read you his quote.
Okay.
But no, it's the first one.
Oh, God.
I concluded with a lighthearted pun in recognition of the record number of women who will be representing the American people in Congress during this term, as well as in recognition of the first female chaplain of the House of Representatives, whose service commenced this week.
So
you know what it feels like? It feels like one of these fucking old guys who thinks that they're that they're, you know, being funny, right, and doesn't realize that we've all moved well past your dumb joke, and your dumb joke has not aged well.
Golly gee.
Yeah, it's just it does feel like almost like anyway. Yeah, it's just a dumb old guy who thought who thought he could be cute, and everybody'd be like, "Aw, he said women too. That's cute.
Look how inclusive."
Meanwhile, half of the people that heard it were like, "Oh my God," and rolling their eyes, and the other half were like, "What? We don't acknowledge women in religion? How dare you?" This is religion. We're still trying to be patriarchal here. So there you go.
Right. Oh, golly. Dan.
Yeah?
Why did I have to pick this story? Just so everybody's clear about which groups are sort of aligned with which groups in this country. Apparently there's this like Christian crowdfunding site called Give, Send, Go. This is the one where they had a fundraising campaign a few months ago for the legal defense of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh,
right? The 17-year-old shooter at the
guy that went and
at the
shot
up
some
in
folk.
Wisconsin, right? At a protest. And okay, not cool.
No.
Well, there's also a fundraiser for Proud Boys, or in particular one specific Proud Boy.
Oh, yeah.
He's their leader, or one of, who got arrested just this last weekend when he arrived in Washington.
Right.
For what I have to say, in retrospect, well done arresting him. But anyway, so he's had a big, they've raised, as of when the story went out, $85,000 for him and his legal defense or whatever. And unless you think that they're just sort of using a Christian crowdfunding site because that's just the one that lets them, for whatever reason, right? Which is problematic enough. No, you can click and send prayers. And it counts that, and it shows it. And so this guy has received over 2,000 prayers that have been sent to him.
I'm going to go send him a prayer.
Yeah, I've got a prayer for him. And so I think this is, it comes as no surprise, but it's nice to see them just sort of, putting it on display.
Just admitting
clearly that
white supremacy is a Christian value to them.
Exactly. Yeah. And that that fascism is a Christian value, and that the overthrowing of the American government is a Christian value. Yeah. We need to start calling these things out for exactly what they are. And I'm sorry. I will unapologetically tell any Christian at this point that they've got a serious problem. I don't care how liberal that fucking Christian is. Right. I'm done. It's all part of the same fabric for me. So I'm angry.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, all's not well in the Christian evangelical world. And that is plainly evident, as we can see. I've been trying to avoid this story. This story has been following me for a few weeks now.
Oh.
And I have been trying not to tell it because I don't care about it that much. But then the real bombshell hit. So the first part of this story happened back in November when Hillsong megachurch, which has churches all over the country and probably beyond, but they're pretty. It's a huge organization. They announced that they had fired their main pastor in their New York in Hillsong NYC. Oh. Carl Lentz was their big pastor. He's one of these hip, cool guy pastors. He's got hipster glasses and hipster hair and tattoos all over his arms and stuff.
Yeah, he sounds really cool.
Oh my God. He is so cool. He's got one of the tattoos. I'm looking at a picture of him. Is 2 pistols crossed with the words "Make 'em pay" on it.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck could that possibly mean? Where's the Jesus message in 2 pistols saying "make them pay," but apparently it was there, and I'm the dumb one for not seeing it.
Make them pay their tithing.
They're tithing at gunpoint. Anyway, he was fired. Apparently, the termination culminated. It happened after he was caught having an extramarital affair, but.
Sounds pretty
if you
Christian.
read between the lines, I think there must have been. I mean, so a letter went out, or an email went out to from the founding pastor of Hillsong to the staff, notifying them that cited, quote, leadership issues and breaches of trust, plus a recent revelation of moral failures. So I think he's been like. Probably a shitbag back behind the scenes, and they just, he cheated, and they were like, cool, an excuse to fire you, you're out. Anyway, so I didn't care about that back in November. Hillsong doesn't mean that much to me, even though they are huge. Anyway, suddenly, pastors have been dropping left and right from Hillsong. The lead pastors of Hillsong Dallas just resigned. Not really explaining themselves very well. Probably they're just going to go have sex with Lentz. But this is a couple, a man and woman team, because they're not going to have a gay couple. That'd be ridiculous. Reed and Jess Bogard just resigned. Now, okay, shakeups in one of the country's biggest mega churches is one thing. But there are some desperate fallout from this. Frank.
What?
Bieber left Hillsong.
No.
Selena Gomez left Hillsong.
No.
They've cut their ties. What are we to do? What are the believers to believe after this? What's going to happen? All the cool, hip pastors are leaving.
They're just going to be left with all the nerds.
All the people who joined because they wanted to catch a glimpse of Justin and Selena.
Did they have VIP boxes? Like, how did that work?
I have no idea.
They must have.
They probably did.
They were probably down front in the VIP section. Right.
Right. They were in swimsuits in the baptismal font at the front.
I didn't even know that Bieber was
Bieber started going to this thing, and he had turned over a new leaf. He made a big deal about it. But he has apparently cut ties.
Well, maybe he turned that leaf back over, and
right.
And
something tells me the boy needed something to ground him. He was he was flying all kinds of crazy. So whatever it is, great. Hope it worked. Sorry, your guy didn't work out. There you go.
That sucks.
So, Frank, what do we do now? I think we just call it.
I think this is just our weird show. This is a weird episode. It's kind of it's backwards. We just did the show backwards. Well, we're just gonna get to email and
patrons
and patrons and
we love you
and all that
so
next
much.
Week.
But our country went a little crazy, and my brain went a little crazy. Our brains went a little crazy.
Yeah, I
think probably some of your brains have gone a little crazy. Everybody get therapy. We all need it now. Probably have for a while because this has been a fucked up time.
Yeah.
Secular Therapy Project. Go to that.
Go.
Get some help.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, if you want to write into us, please feel free to do so. podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yep. Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist. As long as Facebook still exists, we'll be there, I guess.
And also on Facebook is the TGIA Members Only Lounge. The best way to find it, though, is to go to our website, thankgodimatheist.com/members only. It's been hard to find otherwise. So.
Yeah, because Zuckerberg has it out for us as well as the president. That's why. Listen, thanks so much to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their music.
And typically we would thank Gordon Johnston for the use of his music as well.
Yeah, thanks, Gordon. We didn't use it this time, but thanks anyway. And thanks to all of you for bearing with us. Let's hold hands, everybody. I love you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.